So, rumor. Echo the Dolphin. You guys remember Echo the Dolphin, right? For people who don't, well, Echo the Dolphin is a game that came out on the Sega. It was on the Game Gear. It was on Sega Saturn or Dreamcast. I can't remember which. And it's a dolphin. Uh, it was a pretty fun game. Pretty simple, but the sprite work was really good. It was bright and colorful. The music was really good. So, people liked it. But here we are, 2020, 2025 now. Is Sega making a new Echo the Dolphin game? Rumors over trademark sparks dolphin discussion. Thalassophobia is is defined as the fear of the ocean, and it appears the folks at Sega have it for years. Have had it for years as one of their more iconic characters from the 1990s. Echo the Dolphin has been without a new game since the year 2000. Yeah, it's been long. However, recent trademark filed by Sega may mean that a resurgence for the series is on the horizon. So here you have Echo the Dolphin in with Sega, and look at that sprite work. It's really good, very bright, very vivid. Sometimes, especially with a game like that, goofy sprite work can kind of like sometimes make or break a game. You had Sonic, where some of the sprites were goofy looking, but it was Sonic. Same thing with some of the other games, but this is a game where it's more realistic. You have a realistic looking dolphin, so goofy looking. I think some of the animals were kind of goofy looking, if I remember. I mean, it's been ages since I played the game. But for the most part, very bright, very vivid. If I remember, like, the deeper you got into the ocean, the darker it got, so really gave someone that, oh god, I don't want to be here. But really good game. Really, really good game. Releasing in 1992. God, I'm old. I'm old. 1992, soon after the Sega's iconic Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Echo the Dolphin was an action-adventure game that became a bestseller thanks to its atmosphere, graphics, gameplay, and overall unique under-the-sea style compared to other games on the market. Yeah. Yeah, as you can see right there, you've got an orca right there. You can see the backgrounds. They're very much looking realistic. But if I remember, I think it was like the squid or octopus, if I remember, that looked just goofy. Goofy. That despite many children who grew up with the game, now describing the series as nightmare fuel and a reminder of just how terrifying the ocean can be. However, the Echo the Dolphin series is about as abandoned as an old pirate ship at the bottom of the sea. There hasn't been a new entry for the divisive series since Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future, which originally released on this Dreamcast 25 years ago. However, a recent trademark filing might mean that a revival is coming. And Echo is like, I'm gonna come. Oh. Originally brought John, I don't think Echo the Dolphin would say that. Originally brought to the public attention by the news site Gamatsu, Sega filed trademark for Ecco and Echo the Dolphin on December 27, 2024 in Japan. My good friend, long friend Shinzo Abe, he was a very good man. Shinzo, if you're looking down right now, other people would call him Abe. See ya, space cowboy. The move by the video game publisher could hint at a possible new entry to the long dormant series, or perhaps even a collection. That would be cool. I mean, those are all the rage nowadays. Having like remasters or taking the collection, all the games and putting them in a single place. I mean, we had that back on the GameCube when it came to Zelda. You had Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, and then you had a demo for Wind Waker. So you have 4 full games all on one disc. So since this was Sega Genesis, Dreamcast, it shouldn't be too hard to do that. But I think they probably might be trying to bring it back, which would be cool because again, it's a fun game. It's a really cool game. very unique for the time and something that could possibly, if done right, would be very refreshing to the current gaming climate. Because I don't think we'd have to deal with any, you know, I don't think we have to deal with Ecco going through an existential identity crisis and you know, I mean, yeah, there's the thing about like pollution and the oceans and stuff like that, which is normal. But those are typical messages. But I would love to see how they would work transgenderism or inclusivity and representation into a game where you play as a freaking dolphin. That makes me think of a place in Myrtle Beach. It's called the Gay Dolphin. And you're like, John, the Gay Dolphin? That crap sounds made up. No, it's not. Hang on. There you go. There it is, the Gay Dolphin. And there's a picture of the sign, the Gay Dolphin Gift Cove. And obviously gay dolphin meaning happy dolphin, not actual gay dolphins. Although from what I hear, dolphins do have a tendency to do that. But yeah, gay dolphin. That's what it made me think of. When I went to Myrtle Beach, 2012, I was with my girlfriend at the time, and she was like, yeah, there's a place here called the Gay Dolphin. I'm like, no, there's not. And then we passed it, and she pointed out, she's like, told you. I'm like, okay, there's a place called the Gay Dolphin. At first, I thought it was actually like a club or something. I thought it was going to be the Hot Night Club or something. Nope. Nope. It's just it's a place called the Gay Dolphin. But you'll find no homosexuals there. Just a bunch of happy tourists. Anyway, Gay Dolphin. Returning to series to returning and perhaps traumatize a new generation of kids, which is always amazing. A trademark doesn't always mean that a new entry is confirmed. 5 years ago, before the Fire Nation attacked, fans of Nintendo 64 Classic Banjo-Kazooie were excited when the series trademark was updated by Microsoft. Half a decade later, there's no word of a new Banjo-Kazooie game releasing. Which, I mean, after the whole nuts and bolts fiasco, I'm not surprised. I mean, Banjo's popped up in Smash Brothers, but nuts and bolts, while yes, some people liked it, it strayed so far from what made Banjo-Kazooie amazing. So, people just... But John, it had Stop and Swap. And it had so many characters. It had Mumbo, and it had bottles, and it had a bunch of references to the other games, and it had that sexy Humba chick and all that. Yeah, great. When I play a Banjo-Kazooie game, I don't expect to be building vehicles. I expect platforming. Using Kazooie as a weapon. Having her blast eggs out of her ass. Or her mouth, whichever is preferred. That's what I expected. Not, let's build some cars. It was basically, it almost was like, the Breath of the Tears of the Kingdom stuff with the way you build stuff, vehicles. But, yeah. It was even stated by a video game insider, Shez Gordon, that there's no new Banjo game in active development. While this could be seen as devastating for Ecco fans longing for the next deep-sea adventure, perhaps there's still some hope for the Dolphin's grand return. The 1990s remains a popular time period, for revivals, as that decade could be seen as less conflicting and more innocent time. Ecco's original game system, the Sega Genesis, was produced by a company that hadn't produced a console in decades. So there's a bit of an alluring nature to his game and broader series. The ocean itself can be seen as almost another world due to how strikingly different it is from many normalities of the land. normalities of the land. And with gamers' increased need for escapism, what better way to escape than by plunging to the deep, dark depths of the ocean, where no one can hear you scream. Ecco might be the perfect form if they do it right. Just take what made the game good and translate it to 3D. Or better yet, just you can make a game like this. I mean, come on, Sonic's been doing that, sticking to traditional style and been just fine with it. So, a side-scrolling type game, but with more updated graphics, kind of like Sonic has been doing. It'll be fine. Just stay true to what made the game great. We need to make Ecco great again. And some of the classic underwater nightmare fuel that could only originate from the brilliant minds at Sega. And Ecco's next adventure could definitely land with the generation of kids the series missed out on. The 2020s have seen massive popularity in giving innocent type characters a more horror approach. The success of franchises such as Five Nights at Freddy's and Poppy Playtime show that there's definitely still a market for cute characters and terrifying scenarios. While Ecco the Dolphin never intended to be a horror game, it's a series. If the series was to embrace its uncanny legacy, perhaps Sega could once again see Ecco join Sonic the Hedgehog as one of its most iconic brands. I mean, yeah. Again, they just stick to what makes the game good. Don't stray off the formula, just update the graphics. So where it looks like it's like the 2D, 3D look, how it's like 3D models, but it's in a 2D setting, like the side scroller setting. If you can do that and stick to what made the game great, there you go. You'll win. You'll win. The game will become a moneymaker. It'll be producing so much money, you won't know what to do with most of it. But, yeah. Ecco. Great game. Great. Got a legacy at this point. Great music. Great aesthetic. Great sprite work. Just everything about the game was great. Yeah, it got frustrating once in a while, but, that's the fun of, games. Sometimes games aren't fun when they have to hold your hand. But this was one of those games that kind of made you think, with certain puzzles that needed to be solved and, this and that. So it was fun, and if kids were able to do that back then in early 90s, it just astounds me that game companies continued, they have started to just kind of treat gamers like they're stupid. Like, we were playing games like Ecco, and we're just fine. Yeah, we got stuck a lot. But we stuck through it, and we figured it out. And we didn't have the internet back then. We couldn't go to game FAQs or go to a YouTube or whatever and look up a video. No, we had to figure it out on our own, or hope that the latest gaming magazine had the answer, or maybe one of our friends were able to tell us on the playground. So gaming was a bit different back then. We kind of had to figure things out on our own. And Ecco the Dolphin was definitely one of those games. Like, I remember certain parts where you just get to and you'd be like, what am I supposed to do now? Okay, I came down. Okay, that path isn't open. So do I go back up and go that way because I saw a path going that way, but then you go back and see that it's blocked off as well, and you're like, okay, well, I can't go that way. And then you're... So, it made you figure things out. The game didn't hold your hand, and it just annoys me that gaming companies nowadays like to treat the players like they're freaking stupid. You gotta hold your hand, make sure you know the story, make sure you know, hey, look, it's a puzzle. The thing you need is right over there. It's a few feet away. You take that, and you bring it back over here, and you put it in, ooh, the door will open. There's no thinking. There's no thinking. Now, not all games. I play Genshin Impact, and there's a lot of puzzles in there that you'll get there, and you're like, what the fuck even is this? And, you'll have to look up some kind of hint, online or whatever. And then once you see the hint, you're like, oh, okay, well, that was more complicated and convoluted than it needed to be. Or you see all the things like in World of Warcraft, like all these secret encounters with, bosses and stuff like that, that this long chain of just completely random things that you need to do in order to unlock it. It completely insane. And how one person figures that out on their own is completely crazy. Look at some of the stuff, like seriously, look at some of the World of Warcraft stuff, and you'll see, and you'll be just as annoyed when you realize that game companies treat people like they're fucking stupid. Gamers don't mind a challenge. You don't need to make it impossible, but make it fun. Make it fun to where if you are getting stumped, you're like, oh, I'm getting frustrated, but it's okay because I'm sure the reward will be well worth it. Oh, it's gonna be well worth it in the end. Like World of Warcraft, you're granted a new mount or a nice piece of gear or, all of those and an achievement. So it's well worth it in the end. But, yeah, those are the kinds of puzzles I like. Those are the kinds of puzzles that people have been dealing with for decades now. And nowadays, people they treat the gamers like they're stupid. They really do. But anyway, Ecco the Dolphin, great franchise. Let me know what you guys think of Ecco. And if you played it in your youth. And what you guys thought of the game. Any of the games. I think there's like, what, 4 of them. So either one. You can tell me about the OG or the other. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's going to do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.